What's going on, guys? It's Clutch Plays here, and today we're going to be talking about some of the New York Knicks secret players that have been stored in other leagues. The Knicks have so many different players who are stored down in Westchester and overseas who can make some serious damage in the NBA when/if their name is called. The reason I say if is because Mike Miller came out and said that he has no plans of giving the young players more minutes and that they will develop better sitting on the bench. As good as Mike Miller has been with the Knicks on the coaching side of the ball, there is not one solid reason to keep the young players on the bench and keep trying as hard as possible to win games. The Knicks are currently 7 games behind the Orlando Magic for the 8th seed with about 30 games to play, so there is basically no chance that we make the playoffs. Also, each win gives us worse chances at getting a top 4 pick, and even though the lottery system is a lot more random, winning games will decrease our chances from where we are right now at 42% to at least 26%, which will put the teams who are currently not ahead of us in the Pistons, Bulls, and Hornets. On top of this, our young guys, aka the future, will be sitting on the bench watching other guys play instead of actually playing. This will help Mitch, Kevin, DSJ, and Frank get more in-game reps so they can develop, and we can see if they can grow into something or just bust. If they are bust, we will at least be able to see early, so they can still have some trade value during the draft. I don't think Mike Miller is dumb, but this move here is definitely not smart. Now more than ever, I wish we had a competent owner that could tell Mike Miller to play the young guys instead. Since this is the case, one of the young guys who is somewhat of a secret right now, Ignas Brazdeikis, has been killing it in the G League. He's averaged 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists on about 50% from the field and 35% from 3-point range. He didn't play the best coming in, but in his last 5 games, he has shown that he does not belong in the G League at all. In these games, he's averaging 30 points on 66% true shooting percentage, and even had one game where he scored 32 points, grabbed 7 boards, and had 7 assists. Coming out of Michigan, he wasn't ranked very high among scouts, but he has shown that he does not belong in the G League at all. He dominated and took over periods of time in the Summer League, and fit right in with the core of Kevin, Mitch, and RJ throughout the entire time in Vegas. He deserves to be in the NBA, and if anything, his spot in the G League should be replaced by Kevin Knox, who really needs to find any sort of confidence in his game right now. At this point, Ignas looks like the better out of the 2 players, yet still isn't getting actual minutes in the NBA. Coming into this final stretch of games where playing young guys and losing will be extremely important, I'd expect Scott Barry to make sure Ignas gets minutes with the Knicks. Another player who is in the G League and recently signed with the Knicks is Kenny Wooden. Most of us know Kenny Wooden by now, but he is an incredible player in the G League and averages 4 blocks per game. He's a lob threat everywhere on the floor and deserves to be brought up by the Knicks. Tosh Gibson is currently playing 30 plus minutes a game, and Bobby Portis is playing 20 plus minutes a game, so hopefully Kenny can at least take all of Bobby's minutes. The Knicks have some very good players down in the G League, but there are still a couple of players overseas that the Knicks have been hiding from us. Number 1, Yusuf Sanon. So many of you guys may have heard of Yusuf Sanon since he was included in the Marcus Morris trade, and even though he may seem like a throw-in, he actually has some value. Yusuf Sanon is a Ukrainian professional basketball player who was drafted by the Wizards 44th overall in the 2018 draft, but then was traded to the Knicks. He's a 6'4" point guard with only a 6'5" wingspan, but is extremely athletic and a great defender. He came into the NBA as a top 40 ranked prospect according to many different draft analysts, and a lot of people were surprised to see that he didn't go in the top 40. It was kind of known that he was going to be stored overseas for at least a year, which may be the reason teams weren't willing to spend a 2nd round pick on him. He's been playing the game of basketball since he's been 7 years old and really exploded onto the draft scene during the European U18 World Championship as he averaged 19.6 rebounds and 3 assists. Sanon was known to have a lot of development and still has more to do, but he's an NBA caliber athlete who likes to put pressure on the ball and is known for being extremely aggressive on the court. He does play solid on-ball defense, but does get a bit wild at times and reaches in and stuff, but that's probably because he's very young. At the time of the draft, teams were very enticed by his motor and long-term potential, enough for him to be a top 40 prospect, even though he's going to have to play overseas for a couple games. Also, he was called the most promising draft and stash prospect by Sports Illustrated, and NBADraft.net said that he has a bright future in the NBA. Sanon was one of the most promising draft and stash options in the entire 2018 NBA draft, but hasn't panned out just yet. The concerns about his game is that his jump shot is inconsistent and he needs to improve his shooting from 15 feet and out, but he did shoot shooting 33% from 3 at the EuroLeague, which is a good sign for the future. His length, athleticism, defense, and finishing around the rim are all very good, but his jump shot is really holding him back. Overall, he has so much potential to become a rotational NBA player, but he needs to have a semi-consistent jump shot if he will want to affect the Knicks in a positive way. There is so much potential with his game, and don't be surprised if he is brought up by the Knicks next season, or even this season if the Knicks decide to play the young guys and buy out Wayne Ellington and Bobby Portis like they probably should. Number 2, Ogden. Ogden was the 58th pick by Phil Jackson in the 2017 NBA draft, but he's currently a player who the Knicks have the rights to overseas. Ogden is 6'3" and a 24-year-old point guard who revolves his game around his defense. Haramas had a rib injury during the Summer League in 2017, which proceeded to affect his loan. Due to this injury, he was not able to play for the 2018 Liga season, but he has fully recovered and currently has played 14 games for the Euro Cup, where he has averaged 8 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. These stats, especially for a point guard, are very underwhelming, but hopefully he can improve his shot and passing so he can make an impact on the Knicks roster, and he needs to do that fast. Overall, the Knicks have a few players that you guys are probably not familiar with who have a very good chance of playing in the NBA either at the end of this season or next season. Sanon definitely has some value with the Knicks as a possible Frank Ntilikina replacement. Ignat should be playing about 20 minutes a game at least with the Knicks right now, and Kenny Wooden has extreme amounts of potential on the defensive side of the ball. The Knicks' future is looking bright with these young guys, and 7 first-round picks in the next 4 drafts. Now with that said, tell me what you guys thought about the players in this video, and if you think there's anyone that I left off of this list. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'm out, and peace!